want to sound elegant. I want to sound like a native speaker. I don't have a very good accent. Now, all these self doubts actually stop you from speaking in English. Now, the accent which I use to speak in English is Indian accent. Indian accent means when you emphasize on each and every word's pronunciation properly, and this is the most comprehensible way of speaking. If you go to other countries, meet people from their countries, most of the time you would end up not understanding what they want to tell to you, because native speakers have their ways of speaking, their ways of twisting and rolling the tongue. So it's not about what accent you have, because accent is a very personal choice. Now, listening to my English, there would be people who might tell me that you sound this word as a British, and when you are pronouncing this word, then it sounds as if it is an American English. So it means you are a conglomerate. You just don't use one accent. So people might end up telling me this. And I know this is the truth, because it's all the adaptability, the capacity of how I adapt the language, which is convenient for me. I have to also give a space to myself where I am comfortable. I have to know the accent which appeals to me. Now, it is not mandatory to sound like a particular country's accent. Being an Indian, you can sound like a British. Being an Indian, you can sound like an American. It has got nothing to do with which region or which country you come from. So please, guy, don't keep stirring your head, or don't get so much hung up about your accent that you end up spoiling and ruining your spoken English habit. Don't try to put focus more on your accent. Be very natural. Whatever comes to you naturally, organically, absorb that, imbibe that. Because when you will be speaking, you will see most of the time you won't have time actually to understand or to refine your accent. It will come out automatically, because when you have to speak to someone who is standing across you or sitting across you, you have to be yourself. If you try to be somebody else, then you would end up stuttering and would sound like a rigmarole. And I hope no one wants to do that. So why throw up a negative impression on someone you're talking to? You have to be very casual, very normal. Right now, I'm sitting in front of the camera. I am talking to you all guys. I'm sitting, you can look at my body posture. I'm sitting straight, but I'm not frigid. I'm moving my hands so that I can express myself in a good way. I have got some feelings inside me. I have got some emotions within me. These emotions, these feelings, I can express very well to you guys because I'm being very organic to myself. I'm not trying to copy anyone. I'm not trying to be somebody I get inspired by. I might listen to a number of good speakers. I might listen to native speakers talking, and I do. I do that most of the time because I love English. So, whoever it is who speaks fluently, flawlessly, and very good English, I try to get hooked up with that person. But that is my personal choice. But when it comes to talking yourself, then I just don't adopt any accent which appeals to me. I adapt which is comfortable for me so that I can exude my confidence while speaking. I must not end up becoming some precarious sort of person who doesn't know where the English is taking him or her. You have to be on the right track. Don't get yourself into trouble by trying to copy the accent or being too much focused on your accent. So, this is a very important thing that you must remember. And then, if you want to talk elegantly, the first thing you have to do is speak very easily rushing, without rushing for words. There are native speakers who speak very fast. So you might get inspired by them and think like, I'm also gonna increase my pace of speaking. But you might end up sounding strange because the native speaker who is speaking very fast, or any person from our country, Indian, can also speak very fast. And if you look at that person when he talks in his mother tongue as well, he is very fast, she is very fast. So it is a nature which is ingrained within him. He is not trying that pace only while speaking in English to look smart. He is having that nature embedded within him. So you cannot copy, or don't try to copy somebody else's nature. Your nature is perfect, your identity is perfect. So to speak elegantly, you have to take pause between the words, a bit of like pace down, and make yourself understandable. You know, when you speak very softly, elegantly, even the person standing right across you will give you the time to complete your sentence, because that person will have a sense of respect in his head for you. But if you try to speed up, pace up, like there is a tiger sitting at you on your tail, then the other person would think, what is it trying to prove? Why is he being so fast? I am in no hurry. You can take all your time. So, see, when we listen to cricket commentaries, okay, so they have to speak in that way because they have to speak along with the batting, the bowling, the whole picture in front of them. So, in order to express the whole thing, they have to speed up. But in daily conversation, it's not necessary to speed up. You're not a cricket commentator. If you ever do the job of a cricket commentator, then you will be trained for that. Then you can train yourself to speak fast or increase your pace. So that's just because you have got a reason to do it. But if you don't have a reason to just pace up, then what's the use of pacing up? And I find people who speak very softly, very elegantly, more sophisticated than those who try to just pace up and look very smart, but they end up looking ignoramus. And one very, very important thing that I want to say is, when you speak in English, it is not important that you have to find an enriched word to express yourself. If the word is already inside you and it wants to come out naturally, if you can picture or visualize that word, then it's better you can incorporate that word in your sentence. But you don't have to impose that word in your sentence, because no one is gonna ask you how many vocabularies you know at the end of the day. This will be your own personal choice to increase the stock of your vocabularies and practice within yourself to be excellent in English. That would be your personal agenda. But like talking to someone, if you have forgotten the enriched word that you would purposely try to put in your sentence, then no problem. You can always go back to the commonalities, to the rudimentary stuffs. Okay, like if you want to say that I am hungry, but instead of that, you want to say I am ravenous. Okay, but this word is not coming to you at that point of time because you're not very well practiced with that word. You have not practiced well constructing a sentence with that word. So you can tell that I'm hungry. Okay, because you need to be comprehensible to the person. As long as you are making your points understood, your job is done. So please take English as an interface. It's a communicating medium. Okay, and there are like people who don't know English, and I have seen those who know English well, they try to condescend those who don't know how to speak in English by speaking very tough words, by speaking at a very high pace, which couldn't be understood. So you think that you're throwing an impression on the other person that you are such a sophisticated person and you belong to that race of people who can speak English fluently and flawlessly. But believe me, in this way, you are actually undermining the other person's capability. That person might be talented in many fields which you can never dream of yourself. But because you know English and that person doesn't know English, doesn't give you the right to denigrate that person. So be very, very careful while you do such mistakes. Okay. If a person who comes with a caliber of speaking fluently with you and you are exploding from within to talk to that person because you know that person to be very well versed in English, go. Go with the flow. Go and talk with that person and listen to that person. You also use your skills. So that would be like neck to neck. I won't say fight over here. It's a fight sounds very negative, but it would be like a neck to neck competition which will be in a positive stride. So guys, this was all for today's video, and in this channel my sole purpose is to bring in forth of you the things that we actually neglect or ignore when we try to learn English. We think that it could be done in any manner and we must always sound smart. And to sound smart, we have to use the slangs, we have to be a native speaker like accent. No, it doesn't require all this thing. See, I've been speaking for so long. Have I used any slang till now? No, it is not required because I don't want to sound smart in that way. I don't have that knack to sound quirky without meaning. Why would I use slang? It's good to learn everything, slang, non-slang, expletives. You can learn whatever you wish to, but that must not be your motive all the time. Some people have the habit of like using slangs while they speak, and that is not a good habit. Okay, anyway guys, thank you for watching my today's video. If you have liked this video, do subscribe my channel, share my videos as much as possible, and also hit the like button. Bye bye, take care.